Chuck Byrn and I sit on a bench on a chilly morning, chatting about the Civil War. Byrn is a proud Tennessean with a mix of Jewish, Algonquin, Cherokee, Creek, Welsh, Scotch-Irish, and Spanish heritage. He's a retired history teacher, a fan of the Grateful Dead and the Doors, and a guide at the Lots House. Byrn has plenty of stories to tell about the Civil War, and he shares them in quick bursts. He often smokes his pipe and tells me about a woman named Miss Annie, whose grandfather fought at Franklin, and a Confederate general who died in her backyard. He used to work as a guide at the Carter farmhouse, and he remembers finding bullets from the battle in a bowl. Miss Annie would even serve him Mai Tais before his shifts. Sometimes, Byrn's job as a guide brings unexpected surprises, like a man who showed him a bayonet wrapped in a blanket that belonged to his ancestor who died in the war. One visitor told Byrn that he had lived in the Carter house in the early 1900s and remembered finding bone fragments and teeth in the yard. Byrn now works at the Lots House on weekends, and he spends time in the park nearby, where he can imagine what the battle was like in 1864. He tells me about the intense battle that resulted in thousands of casualties and was fought almost entirely at night. He points to a modern neighborhood and describes how Union soldiers defended themselves against charging Confederates. Byrn has a deep respect for the soldiers who fought and died at Franklin, especially the common soldiers who often go unnoticed in history. He tells me about Henry Walters Cowman, a young soldier who died from a wound he sustained in battle. Another soldier, Elmore, also died at Franklin, and Byrn tells me about George W. Heckman, a private in the 104th Ohio, whose son later served in World War I. Before we leave the park, Byrn shows me a photo of a bull terrier named Harvey, the mascot of the 104th Ohio. Despite the chaos of the battle, Harvey and his master survived. Byrn admires the resilience of the soldiers and their faithful companions. As we part ways, Byrn returns to the Lots House, leaving behind the spirits of the soldiers who fought at Franklin but never forgotten.